All right, hello again, guys, and welcome back. I'm Kojiro from the YouTube channel Gaming in Japan, and in today's video, I would like to do a little bit of an announcement of the things that I'm going to do next here on this English-centered YouTube channel. And some of the things are going to be really excited, and I know that probably no more than 5, 10 people are going to watch this video, but I would like to do it anyways as a sort of kind of like a self-confidence boost and a boost of motivation also to make more videos and to keep you guys in the loop of the very interesting things that I'm doing here. So in the beginning, I just want to say that the reason that I believe I can do a lot of variety and variable content here on this channel is because I actually do a lot of different stuff. I speak Japanese. I'm currently studying Chinese. I want to talk a lot about the way that anime fans can more effectively study Japanese language. I have not studied from anime or any of the other popular ways on YouTube that people are promoting. But I have more than 5 years of translation. I have translated Death Note in my native language. And I also make a lot of presentations and reviews and previews of new anime titles on a different channel on my native language in a kind of like a TV studio style TV show. I'm going to show this probably sometimes, but I am over 2K titles of watched anime, so I want to start talking about also stuff like that and Japanese language. On the side of Chinese language, I want to do something different because in the Chinese language, I'm a beginner. I'm going to contrast that with my Japanese content, in which I'm going to speak with more confidence and with more assurances of things that are actually facts about how to say the language more effectively using textbooks. But in Chinese, I'm a beginner and I'm going to study 99% on my own with study materials that I have found and in a method that is more suitable towards the way I see um, self studying exotic Asian language. And with all this stuff, I just want to say that Japanese is actually not my second language because English is very obviously not my native language, and the Japanese was the third language that I started to study. But also before that, I have studied Russian, which I do not consider myself to be completely that language, but I understand something like 90% of what's being said, and I can't write very well, but I can speak decently, the decent level Russian. And so with Chinese, that is effectively the only other language that I'm learning. So I'm a little bit of a, I'm gonna say, low key expert on how to study new language, especially when you're on your own, and especially when you don't have money, and when you can utilize the many great tools that the internet can provide to you. So I'm going to give you some guides and details about that. But for Chinese specifically, my journey will be more to for you to come together and tag along and see some of the mistakes that I'm going to do and some of the things that I'm going to learn for the first time pretty much with Chinese. I'm sure I'm sorry, I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to structure the my Chinese studies yet, but for Japanese, I'm most definitely going to focus on how you can utilize traditional methods with traditional textbooks like Mina no Nihongo, Shin Nihongo no Kiso, Tobira Genki, the latest edition from 2020, and others like that. But for Japanese specifically, guys, I'm not going to go over basic stuff. I'm going to present lessons and language examples and grammar analysis that is above level 3 of Noryoku Shiken. So please be aware of that. The part of the process of me doing these videos is that I'm studying and preparing myself because I have been a little bit rusty for the past 1.5 years. I'm exposed to Japanese every single day, but I don't speak very often nowadays. So that's gonna be interesting for Chinese. Like I said, I'm a beginner there, so I'm going to discover a lot of things there for the first time. But the interesting story that I can share, and one of the reasons I decided to finally study, I always wanted to study Chinese after Japanese, but I tried to do kind of like a mock HSK test to see what's up. And although I couldn't read the majority of the Hanzi there, the kanji characters, I could still understand the meaning because they're like 90% the same. Of course, Chinese uses different like simplified version, and for some of them you have to be aware of the traditional version of the kanji to understand what's going on. But it's still fun. Like I always wanted to study Chinese, and I'm going to eventually be very good Chinese speaker, and from there I'm going to do somewhere in the future. I'm going to do Korean and Arabic. I want to be proficient in all of the Asian languages, but more of that later. So on the gaming side of things, right? On the gaming side of things, I'm going to do a lot of Street Fighter 6, but more specifically, I'm going to do a lot of Zangief content. This channel here, Gaming in Japan, will probably be one of the premium channels for Street Fighter 6 Zangief tech. I have played a lot of Zangief in Street Fighter 4. I have won online tournaments with Zangief in Street Fighter 4, and I have won those tournaments against some of the best players in Europe that you can imagine. And one of them subsequently became a champion of a very big tournament in the United States. I'm not going to go into too much details because I'll have to provide the receipts, and if I have to go through the trouble of providing receipts like 10 years after that tournament have already passed, I'm going to also talk a lot of trash probably. uh, but more of that some other times. What I want to say is that I know Zangief very well. I didn't play Zangief in Street Fighter 5 for because I didn't want to play the game at all. I'm not one of those Street Fighter 5 haters who hated the game in the very beginning in 2016, and then they never changed their opinion of the game. And that's insincere because it's a stone cold fact that in the recent years, Street Fighter 5 has become a much better game. But it is also true that in the past couple of years, there were also a lot of other interesting 2D fighting games that are worth playing. So after I was disappointed with Street Fighter 5, started playing other games and never really uh, got back to Street Fighter 5. But I don't hate the game. I just think that Zangief specifically there is not what I want to do with the character. But I have played Zangief in a lot of other uh, old school Street Fighter games recently. I'm going to show you a specific video. I have a very specific concern about Zangief in Street Fighter 6. Some element of his gameplay that I don't think people have noticed so far. I'm talking about that Damascus versus Tyrant, I think. Zangief vs DJ match that was uh, posted recently on YouTube, and I want to talk about that. And I'm going to show a lot of matches with Zangief. And the thing there is that this is going to be probably my first 2D fighting game in which I'm not going to play to participate in tournaments. I'm going to play specifically to make content and to make YouTube videos and eventually streams in English. So that's on the gaming side of things. I'm still going to upload a lot of other views about video games, but Street Fighter 6 is going to be a big focus for me. And I'm also going to talk a lot about the psychology of playing grapplers in fighting games because there's a lot of things out there that needs to be said about playing these types of characters. I feel there is a lot of expectations about Zangief in Street Fighter 6 necessarily being very good, or at least way better than he was in Street Fighter 5, because according to a lot of people in Street Fighter 5, he's a bottom tier. I think the V shift made the character in Street Fighter 5 also significantly weaker because of the escape that people can do from his mix-ups and so on and so forth. So yeah, I'm going to do a lot of Zangief things here on this channel. And lastly, I'm also going to talk about movies that does not need to be explained in great many details, but there are things that I wanted to do just as an experiment. I want to talk about the United States of America, and this is something that might seem a little bit cynical coming from somebody who is not an American and who is living in a different country. I cannot wait to be called a Russian bot in the comment section. Eventually, that's going to be a lot of fun. But I'm going to talk a lot of shit about the United States because there is a lot of talk about the political and social and cultural situation there that is really divided into separate groups that are very narrow and very unthoughtful on a lot of different topics and nuances that need to be said. And I have the arrogance to believe that I can say those things when other people can't. But of course, that's going to be from an outside perspective. And just to preview this part a little bit, the titles of my videos in English about the United States are going to be made specifically to piss people off in a major way. Um, that's the only way that I can actually see any merit of doing the videos, because I wanted to do something that is on the surface seems like a trash talk, but in reality is actually a like good-hearted and positively driven analysis of things that are going on in the United States. And I want people that are in there to think about some of the things that are happening there a little bit from a different perspective. And I want you guys to understand that foreigners, us, is the status of the United States, of this very big, powerful country that has a lot of sway over international events. Foreigners have a right to talk about the United States politics, and to criticize it just as much as everybody else, because your stupid ass leaders are affecting the whole planet and all of us. And I'm a little bit scared about the things that are brewing over there. So you have to bear with me on that front. I don't believe that the YouTube channel should be focused on less different types of topics, instead of just like trying to do something that is completely out of whack in a lot of different ways. But I believe that the term variety content can be expanded in a lot of other different ways outside of what people believe. So when in the case of video games, if people are talking about variety content, they mean different types of video games, but that can also mean just different forms of medium and entertainment and a lot of other stuff like that. I also want to most likely talk about community management in the video game industry. It it's because it's something that I do for a living. Okay, I'm not going to talk about stuff that I'm involved with for NDA reasons, obviously, but I just think that there is a lot of lack of information on that front, more specifically about the way companies communicate with gaming fans and gaming communities. The recent event with the Overwatch 2 lack of real PvE story mode continuation is the latest example that I can think of. But there is interest in this topic that hasn't been discovered on YouTube or on Twitch. So I think about doing something like that. And lastly, I'm probably going to talk with a lot of other people in something like a interview slash podcast form. My most recent interview was actually with Girwanda from, he's a very famous Tekken player from Europe, just before he got top 4 in the Tekken World Tour, the last Tekken World Tour. So I can do also things like that. I'm very excited to announce all of these things for you guys. And for all of the 5-10 people that are going to watch this video, if you have anything specific to request for any of these topics that I mentioned, anime, different types of video games, Street Fighter 6, Chinese, Japanese, community management, and the video game industry, and movies and animes that you want me to cover, please share your opinion down in the comment section below. And I will see you guys with my next video, which will probably be focused on Zangief in Street Fighter 6. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you very soon. Bye.